we're off on the 2019 Road Glide Special. This beast has got a 114 cubic inch engine in it, which on the 2019 models is standard. It's pretty cool. Bike's got aftermarket slip-ons, and I didn't check to see what brand they were, but I will put that up on the screen now. So the Road Glide, well, the shark nose fairing, you either love it or you hate it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Tell you what, these 114s, these big heavy baggers, they really get these bikes up and moving. This 114's definitely got, on the Road Glide, it's definitely got a little bit more sting to it, a little bit more get up and go in comparison to the Ultra Limited, and that's to be expected, because I don't know for a fact, but I'd assume that Ultra Limited's a little bit more heavy than this. This has got plenty of get up and go, plenty. Now I've ridden that bike in front of us, which is a 2019 Ultra Limited, and it definitely felt more heavier than this bike. The Road Glide feels a little more nimble. Get around, yep. The shark nose fairing just seems massive to me, it really does. Is that on or off? I just don't know whether to have that on or off. Same with the batwing fairings, I don't know whether this is a gimmick or whether it works, seriously. I'll take that off, it makes a difference. Gee whiz, I don't really know if I can see any difference at all. If anything, it's a little bit better with that button down, which I don't know if that's open or closed. I think it's open. Yes, it's open. Yeah, okay, it's slightly better. The airflow coming through this section here. So the salesman at the dealership, their opinion of the Road Glide is that it's a lot lighter on the steering, and they say it's a lot lighter on the steering. The front fairing is bolted onto the frame of the bike, as opposed to the batwing fairing it being bolted onto the handlebars. Oh, there's the indicator light. I couldn't find it before. It's on the fuel gauge. I have heard people say that the touchscreen on the Road Glides, they find them hard to read at times because they're tilted a little bit back and facing the sky, I guess you could say, a little bit more than the batwing fairing, but I can tell you, I can read that touchscreen quite clearly. I'll tell you what this bike has is an awesome paint job. The colour is sensational. It's not a metallic colour. I don't know what colour it's called, but it's a blue. I really like it. And the thing about these specials, street glide special and the road glide specials, they're all blacked out and they really look sick, they really do. Black wheels, blacked out forks, black exhausts, blacked out handlebars, crash bars blacked out, everything's blacked out engine, just looks good, it looks really cool, real tough it looks. Buffeting is not too bad actually, it's not too bad at all. I reckon I was getting the same sort of buffering on the Ultra Limited, but it had a higher windshield than this. So the shark nose fairing's probably, in my experience, it's probably a little bit better at buffeting the wind than batwing fairing. Toggle switch just there to scroll through the menu. Currently showing kilometres. Hit it again. Trip A. Hit it again. Trip B. Hit it again. Range to empty. Hit it again. And we're back to how many kilometres the bike's done. I don't know if these little wind deflectors are standard. They're fixed, they're not, you can't move them, they're fixed. I don't know if they're standard, I don't know what that is. That's your 12 volt, is it 12? Yeah, 12 volt plug, cigarette plug or whatever it's called, I think. These open, I think. These. Pretty sure these open somehow. Oh, there you go. Little compartment in there, and I think the right hand one will have a USB connection in there to charge your phone or whatever. This one, yeah, see there's a little USB connector in there to charge your phone or anything else you want charged. This one doesn't have it, but it's got this here, so yeah, not bad. Comfortable bike, comfortable riding position. Seat's not as comfortable as that Ultra Limited there, but nonetheless it is still comfortable. I could still whack on a few hundred kilometres quite easily on this bike, quite easily. Pretty confident I could use a fuel tank of fuel on this bike without stopping for a break. The radio, wow, I hear a lot of wind noise. Tunes. I'll put tunes on. Can't hear anything. What about if I touch the music? So you can see there. Oh, hang on. That's not quite. That's it. Alright, so you can see how loud I've got that, and I'm hearing a lot of wind noise. I mean, I know which song's on, I don't know what it's freaking called, but nah, that's at 100 kilometres an hour. The music, the speakers, I can hear there's music coming out, but no good, no good. No doubt around town it'd be fine. But look, you know what, I'd much rather just have like your Cena 20S or something like that and have speakers hooked up in your helmet. That'd be my preference anyway. What I find with these Harley touring models is, except for the Road King King's a little bit different. The Road King I find to be the most nimble of the Harley Tourers. The rest of the range, the Ultra Limited, the Street Glide, the Road Glide, what I find with them is that once they're up and running, they are quite nimble for bikes their size. You know, it's quite easy to, you know, corner and slow ride and all that sort of stuff. They're just a little bit awkward when it comes to, when you come to a complete stop and you want to park it or reverse it into the curb or, you know, that sort of thing. That's when things can get a little bit dicey, and the shorter you are, the more dicey it becomes, because, you know, you're more inclined to, your foot's more inclined to slip, because you know you're on tippy toes or whatever. But that's where I find these tourers a little bit intimidating. It's only when I'm trying to park them or reverse them into a tight little spot, something like that. That's the only time I find these bikes a little bit daunting. Daunting's probably not the right word, but just a little bit sketchy, because they're big and they're heavy when they're not mobile. But once they're up and running, once you're sort of up like 20 k's an hour, they're fine. They are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Now this is quite enjoyable, this bike, quite enjoyable. I wish I knew the ins and outs of that the new screen, the new touch screen. It looks good. I'm 5'10", 5'9", and I reckon this bike was built for people my size because I'm sitting bolt upright. My arms are not fully extended, but they're, you know, stretched out nicely, nice and comfortably. I can see over that screen comfortably. My legs are in a very comfortable position. Definitely, I think they were built for people, you know, I reckon they were built for people around between 5'7" and 6 foot, ideally. Sometimes Harley does some really dumb things that I really don't understand. For example, behind me is a 20, probably can see it in my mirror there, behind me is a 2019 Street Glide Special, right? They put the 114 motor, you know, as in all the specials, and it's a really good looking bike, that one there. It really is a good looking bike. Why the hell does it not have a Daymaker headlight? Like, why does Harley do, why did they do that? I just don't get it sometimes. Some of the things they do, I just can't understand what their thinking was. Pretty sure this one's got LED headlights. Yeah, so like I'm going fairly slow now, but once you're up and running, this bike, it feels light. It's just when you come to a complete stop, and like I said, if you need to push it around or manoeuvre it around, that's when you know you're on a bagger. That's when you know that you're riding a bike that's quite heavy. Yeah, these aftermarket slip-ons sound really good. I'm just not sure what they... I've got a feeling they might be Vance and Hine. Now at a speed, what, we're doing 70 kilometres an hour. See, even then the sound system, the speakers aren't really projecting that music or that sound to me all that good. Because I've just got too much other noise, too much road noise, not road noise, wind noise. I'd much rather just hook up a Cena into my helmet and play my own music that way, take phone calls. As far as that touchscreen's concerned, I just like the fact that your navigation, basically. The Ultra Limited is a little bit different with the music because it's got, you know, dirty big speakers in the trunk as well. So then again, you could always upgrade the amp and speakers and so forth if you're prepared to tip that much money into it. But I'd rather just hook it all up to the helmet, to be honest. Sounds tough. This bike sounds tough. The rims on these specials, I reckon they are absolutely magnificent. They are, in my opinion, they are the best rims that Harley Davidson makes aesthetically. I just love them. Mirrors are good. I can clearly see behind me, no dramas at all. So I've got just over half a tank of fuel left on this bike, and the range to empty is 280 kilometres. So this must get well over 500 kilometres to the tank, that's awesome. No chance of running out of fuel. We can't find a service station within 500 k's of riding. you must be in a fairly remote area. Hydraulic clutch. Well, if there's one thing I'm not a fan of in Harley Davidsons, it's the clutch. I find their clutches to be a little heavy. Like, it's got a nice feel to it and everything, but I just think they're a little heavy. That's all. That's just my opinion. I will say though, I reckon the rear suspension on the Ultra Limited is more comfortable than the rear suspension on this Road Glide Special. That's not to say that the Road Glide Special suspension is bad. It's just that I can notice a difference in the rear ride in comparison to the Ultra Limited in front. So this is 110 kilometers an hour, and it's just cruising to 2,500 RPM. I'm wearing a full face helmet. The buffeting that I'm getting is pretty good, considering the windshield in front's quite low. Wind buffeting's pretty good, I reckon. So if I bought this, given that Harley pretty well decks it out from the factory in terms of blacking it out and all that sort of stuff, what would I do if I bought this? Obviously I'd put some slip-on pipes on it, which this one had done to it. I'd probably get a backrest for the longer trips. That would probably be it, I reckon. I really like the fact that this test ride, they allow you to test ride a bike that's got, you know, an aftermarket exhaust on it, because I've found with Harleys, if you ride them with a stock exhaust, it can really sort of detract from the bike. Like, it just, I know it probably means nothing in terms of, you know, how it handles and all that sort of stuff, but when you've got that nice deep rumble, I don't know whether it's just me or not, the bike just feels better. And I like the fact that they've put aftermarket slip-on, you know, because it gives you a real indication of what your bike would sound like. I think these are vents as well. Yeah, they are. Let's open those and see what it's like with those open. There we go. It's going to be interesting to see what that's like now. There that. Up, closed. Open. Should have opened those when we were doing 100, see what the difference would be. Shooting wind sort of up towards the top of the helmet. It's not annoying me. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a big dirty thumbs up if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button. Share it with a friend if you're thinking he might like it or she might like it. This 2019 Road Glide Special gets a big thumbs up from me. I do like the Ultra Limited better though. And anyway guys, I'll catch you next time. Cheerio.